Good evening and welcome to After Hours here at Linda's Electric Quilters.
Yay!
Yay, yay. You and these yays. You always
This is
come in with a
yay.
yay or a whoop whoop. Where's the yeehaw? Remember you were going to do a yeehaw?
I know. Yeehaw! Are you happy?
Someone save that, please. That was comedic gold.
I'm so tired.
Someone turn that into a GIF and send it to me, please. I would be here for it.
Anyway.
Well, welcome in here to After Hours. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, or if you're watching it after we have been live, thank you for watching it.
Yes.
Please make sure that you do subscribe to our channel. It's going to be right down at that bottom right-hand corner. After you click on that subscribe button, make sure you click on the little bell that shows up so you can get notified whenever we post new videos or whenever we go live here at Linda's Electric Quilters.
Yay, exactly. Okay, so we have a really good show for you tonight. Corey really put some time in and studied the Fancy This book.
Oh, no pressure. No pressure. Corey put in a bunch of time in this, so if it goes south, blame Corey.
Exactly.
No pressure. It's fine.
No, but so this book has been around for quite some time. It's been around since I
minute.
started over 20 years ago, but it has so much good information in there. It's like a full-on class, right?
Yeah, there's it's a lot of good instruction here on how to set up this little whole cloth piece. It ends up being about a 40-inch square, or depending on how you make your measurements.
Yeah.
Whole cloth with so many different freehand techniques.
It's a really good training technique.
Yes.
Yeah, really. So if you have you want to do some free motion on a machine, if you want to do it on a long arm, this really gives you some great techniques. So let's show them what it looks like,
Okay.
actually.
So this
we
is
actually
after
have a
it's
sampler pad.
been completely done.
Yeah.
I don't know how that looks. Can we see it?
Yeah, you can see it.
Good. So that's how it completely looks. You got feather swag at the top borders. You've got sashings, pumpkin seeds, circles, all sorts of different things, little animals, clamshells, so many different things on that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just a good learning class. In fact, when Linda used to teach it here years ago, it was called Artistic Freeform, and it was
That was the name of
That
it.
was
We
the
were trying
name.
to figure out what the name was, or I was trying to, you knew, but anyway, as you were. Go ahead.
And it was a full day class, and the students learned so many different techniques that they could take back and put into their quilting. So we thought we would drag out the book. Because we have the books that we sell, and why not show some techniques in the book? We also have it available as a PDF download now, and there also will be the video will be up there pretty soon too, and you can download the video.
Yeah.
So all with a small, little fee, but I mean it's really good stuff.
Yeah, we're starting to look at when it comes to books and other printed copies like this that we own, starting to switch it into that PDF format because we have a lot of viewers, as I say, across the waters or in other countries.
Yeah.
Where shipping one book to another country can be very expensive.
Yeah.
So giving you that ease that if you want to go buy a book at midnight and start quilting, you have that ability where you can do that as well for a download right then
Exactly.
and there.
So we have a lot of them already set up as downloads, and this is one of them along with some other books. So if you do want it as a download PDF, we already have that available for you. But Corey, I think we should just get started and show them some of the techniques that are in this book.
Well, do you want to go
Point
ahead
out
and
some-
get over there and get going? And okay, cool.
Yeah, why don't you kind of point out the techniques that you're going to show them?
Okay. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is I took this and, not this exact piece, but I took some fabric and mounted it on the long arm and kind of went in and spaced out and stitched out some of these sections. So like, for instance, in the front of this book, let's go on page 2. It talks you through with the diagram of what you're going to need to quilt this out and the spacing and everything like that. You can pre-mark it on fabric with a chalk pencil if you'd like, or you can just mount it directly onto the long arm and start going from there. So we're going to start right here in the center using one of the heart templates that Linda has because we have a ruler foot on our machine, and I'm going to show you some really cool things that you can do. So let's head over to the long arm and take a look at it. So let's head on over here. And I am over here at the long arm. And the first thing that I want to do, we are going to be using templates, and this is one of them. This is the 4-inch heart, if I'm not mistaken, heart and oval.
The heart oval that we sell.
Yeah, and I've got some little grippers on the back of it. We'll talk about that later. But the first thing I want to do is I want to pop on a ruler base since I'm using templates. And I love the ruler base on this machine. I can just slide it right on, right underneath the foot there. Get it in position and snap it down.
I love that.
Love that. So simple, so easy.
Simple.
All right, so we're going to come over here. And like I said, I've got my little fabric dot grippers that stick to the back of my templates. What that can do is now that I've got that base underneath, I can use some pressure, and this template now doesn't move because it's gripping on the fabric. But when I'm done with it, I pull it right off. Doesn't harm the fabric at all. Absolutely love that. So I'm going to find the center of this fabric, and I'm going to say it's right about there, give or take. It's a very give or take. And I'm going to take my template, and I have the ruler foot on our long arm. This is an Anova machine, and it goes on through this ruler foot sideways, like that, and then it slides over.
Try that one more time. I didn't have the camera in the right position.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So use this little notch right here. For this particular brand, there's other brands you can go from the back of it, but this one you're going to go sideways right through the notch, and then turn it.
Perfect.
Just like that. So I can get this into position. I'm going to lay that right about there. That's good. And I'll start here at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my bobbin thread. And I've got my stitch regulator on, doing this at 11 stitches per inch. We will change that up later this evening as well. So do that, and I'll do some tie-off stitches just to lock it down. And I'm going to get a good grip on this. Set that back where it was, right there. There we go. And I'm going to kind of set it my hand just like this, because I want to be able to hit both of those dots. You can move those little fabric gripper dots anywhere. But I want to hold that, and then all I'm doing is pushing that foot against this template and working around it to get that heart. And I'll do it there. And then once I get over here, it's getting a little awkward for me. I'm going to stop the machine, move my hand.
I think that's important to show, is that it's okay to stop and move your hand.
Oh yeah, totally, please do.
Yeah.
And now this one, I just kind of looped around this. You could make more of a dip to have a nice pretty heart, but I can go in there and put something. So I'm done with this. I'm going to slide this off. Let me pull up my needle. There we go. Slide that off just like that.
Okay.
So in here after that, what I want to do is we're going to start with the little feather that's in this book that kind of wraps around. So starting here towards the bottom, I'm going to take my chalk pencil and kind of give it a nice wavy vein to follow. Curve down the side and curve to right about there. Okay. And that's just giving me something to follow to backtrack back so I can come back the other way, because I'm starting without a vein, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and draw it first. So I'm going to take this, coming down and back up, down and back up, down and back up. And I'm leaving a little bit of extra space there at the top, and you'll see why. I'm not taking that feather all the way to the top because we're going to put something in there later. So I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. Now, as you see, I'm getting down here into a small little tight curve right here. And so because it's curving up like this, like a U, I'm going to put one little small feather in, and then I'm going to wrap around it to fill in the space. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. So a little small one here, and then a big one to fill in the space. That keeps me going in that curve really, really nice. Now I'm getting here to the side of this. Maybe I want to go in and put a little cornerstone. I could come up and put a little curly Q to kind of make that corner nice, and then work around it. Just following down this vein of this chalk pencil. And I am hitting my clamp there. You saw that. That was beautiful, wasn't it? My little uh-oh feather. We always have at least one of those, but we can make it work. Biggest thing about feathers is keep them going back towards that vein. Really want them to go down into that. All right, so I'm done with this. So now I'm going to travel back down my chalk pencil line, give or take. Doesn't have to be right on it. And then I'm going to travel back. And for this one, I do want this to touch, or get close to touching, that inner border there. So going in, now these are starting to get really long, so that I can just put in like a little tiny feather there, and another one there, just to really open up that space. Get these setting in there nice and well, and work around. So we're going to go all the way around this. And the best thing that I can recommend for feather work, oh here, let's do this first real quick before I say that. Do this little inner one, and then throw in a nice deep one like that. Wrap around your curve. Best thing I can say about feather work is to you get some fabric or get a dry erase marker and some paper or just a pen and paper and sit there and just practice your motion of how you like to do your feathers, because there's so many different ways. I'm going to end here with a heart. Just like that. And I can bounce back on this side and echo it.
Yeah, I was wondering like if you were going to add more to that side.
Oh yeah, totally. There's more to it. There's more coming. We're keeping one continuous motion though in this. Deep echoes on this if you want. And that book that Linda wrote so long ago still has so many great techniques, and this is one of them, that feather on the border. All right, so now I'm in here. I'm going to come up to the center of this heart, and I'm going to basically build a little peacock feather. That's just an echo back and forth, back and forth. And I'm going to head up here, and now we're going to do nice tight ribbon candy. And that's going to be the background all the way around our quilt.
Okay. So just another technique.
Another technique. So many already that we've learned. So you're working this, and you're going to do that all the way. And this one's so fast, y'all. So fast. And you can do it as wide as you want, or if you do it a little thinner, it really shows off the definition of your feather. Just like that. So I'm going to call it quits there on this one. I'm going to stop it right there. But you could work that all the way around this, and it would really give you that kind of that quadrant, some really good definition for what you can do right there. I don't know if she wants to
show that
go
really quick while you start setting up your other one.
Yeah, totally. But really good, easy way to work around those borders. Fill up that space. Feathers really fill up almost anything, which is really, really nice and really, really cool.
Okay, what's next?
So let me pull up my thread. Normally I would tie that off and secure that down whenever I'm done. Pull up my thread, trim this off. I want to show you using a ruler in a tight space to give something a little bit more of a geometric feel. So we're going to start a little further over here to the left. And I'm going to grab my 4x8 ruler. It's another good one that Linda developed. And it's got a bunch of different line markings in this, but one that I really want you to check is the 45-degree line markings that this has. And what I can do with these line markings is I can take this and match this line with a line in my piecing. For instance, this little piece here. And this is a little extra something. This really one isn't in the book. This is just a little extra. So what I can do is I can line up this 45-degree angle line
Oh, I see now.
with
Like,
my piecing, sorry, with my stitching or my piecing on the quilt. And I can use that and travel back and forth and create a nice little crosshatch effect.
Got it, okay.
So I'm going to pull up my threads. Did I catch you off guard there for a second?
Yeah, I'm just trying not to make people dizzy too, holding this camera.
Yeah, that's a little bit of movement involved
Sorry,
in freehand.
folks. I was trying to get you so you can get close up of everything.
All right, so I get this. Oh, did I get it? Oh, there it is. These threads, I tell you. All right, so we're going to tie this off. Okay. And I've got that line in alignment with my ditch or with my piecing. And I've got a nice hand on this. I love the 4x8 because I can put my whole hand on that. And I'm just going to go right across here. And I can stop that, needle down, rotate this ruler, and now line up that same line going horizontally.
Okay.
Hold it this way. Needle down. Rotate it back.
And line the lines
and
up.
line up the lines. And all you're doing is lining up the lines back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And once you get a hang of it, you can really work this really fast. Just taking my time here so y'all can get the motion. Just moving the ruler back and forth.
A little bit closer view of that line again. So give me your pinpoint on the line.
So you've got a line here.
Okay.
So we're rotating between these two lines.
Got it. Okay.
And I'm just moving that back and forth, holding it nice and flat. And just pushing that machine against that ruler. Not super heavy, but enough to keep it going in the direction that I want. And I know when I come over here to the side, it's a little harder for you to see, but I'm just lining up that line and going. I really do like ruler work, as much computerized work as I do. I really do enjoy using a ruler every now and then. But you can just really get the motion flying in this. Just like that.
Perfect.
You can move all the way around this all day long, as much as you want. You could shift over a little bit and do a little bit of a plaid crosshatch if you wanted. There's so many things you could do with that.
Okay.
So let's say maybe if we wanted to move over, let's say 1/4 of an inch, say about that. Line up that line. Let's say right about there, that's lined up. Just like that. Line up our line again. I love the lines on this. You can just totally go so many different directions with it. And you're getting that plaid look right in there just by moving that ruler around and moving it around just a certain amount. Always stopping needle down. That helps out a lot to keep you in the same spot. And then let's go over here one more time to finish this off. Okay, and where are we at here? There we go. And then we finish off here. So there we go. Now that one can cut all the way through here, and then we would pick that up going this direction.
Yeah.
All the way down. Good. Just like so.
Perfect. Okay. Show us something else.
A little bit of movement on that one. So using this, you could even take this little extra space that you've now created with your triangles to say if you wanted to fill that space in. I'm going to stitch right back over here just to keep it continuous. So I'm going to come back this way. Well, that wasn't as perfect as I could have made it. Oh, my grippers are upside down. That's why. I was like, why is the ruler moving? There we go. All right, that works. So now that we're there, we can come into maybe the center here and build something off of that, or maybe do a continuous curve. Let's do a continuous curve. That'll be fun. So I'm going to curve up to this, curve down, do a little bit of stitch in the ditch, up, down, a little bit of stitch in the ditch, up, down, and then on your way back, you would curve the bottom, a little bit of stitch in the ditch, bottom, a little bit of stitch in the ditch, and the bottom. And now you've got that cute little design in all of your triangles. So now you've really created a really cool sashing.
Cool.
All right, let's see, what else can I bring up to you? We went a little off the book topic there. I started throwing in a few extra things. But it's just to show you how starting with one technique, you can start building so many other designs. We'll head back over here to this section.
Okay.
All right, next I'm going to use the applique ruler, or the applique helper, excuse me. And what I'm going to do is this applique helper has these little bumps and ridges in it, and that helps me create really cool pumpkin seeds. And if I flip it, it's going to give it another effect, and you'll see what I mean in a second here. So I'm going to start, let's start right about, yeah, we'll start there, that's good.
And I know there's probably questions, but I can't hold camera and look at the same time, so at the end we will answer questions.
So we will, oh, I totally forgot about that. You can't do two things at once. Whoops. Well, the more you know. You're super mom, though. You can do everything. All right, so I'm going to hold this, and what I can do is just work up. When I get into a point, I'm going to pause that real quick so I can get a better hold on. There we go, that's nice. I'll go this direction, and this direction. And then what I can do is if I flip it, and get it into this section right here,
okay. Yeah, I see what you're doing.
I can go back the opposite direction. Let me get a, is that more, that's better in alignment, there we go. And I've now created a, that was in a weird space for my hands. There we go. I was trying to keep it so you could still see on the camera. Now I've got this little chain effect. There we go. Yeah. Now I've got a cool little chain effect all the way down, and all I did was work one way this way, and then flipped it the other way, and worked that way with that. All right, so let me pull up my thread one last time. What else did I have in my arsenal? Oh, let's look at clamshells.
Okay.
Clamshells are always fun. Clamshells are a great way to fill up any background, especially if you have an applique around it. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of space here. Oh, that's enough space there, yeah. Let me stitch a straight line real quick. We're going to see how straight I can make it, but we're going to see. Give myself a little box, and let's say our heart is, let's go here, there we go. Hot dog, not bad. All right, so what you can do with clamshells, first way is to get them started and to give yourself a little bit of height. So how high do you want those clamshells to go? How much do you want them to fill in? So you can take a ruler and you can say, all right, I can measure out my square, but I want to say, you know what, I don't really want these clamshells much more than, let's say, an inch, let's go 2 inches. So I can mark a 2-inch line, move my ruler up, use my base for flat, put a chalk line right down that,
Okay.
and go up another 2 inches if I choose. Move, there we go. Mark all the way across. And this is just a visual. This is nothing that has to be absolutely perfect or set in stone. Completely up to you.
Just kind of a guide to help you.
Completely up to you. Just a guide.
You can use this. You could even use the straight line.
Design with line straight line stencil and pounce them down. Yeah.
So either way.
So completely up to you. We can start here in the corner. And take this, pull at my thread. A couple more single stitches to lock that down. And I can just start with my clamshell, and I can use that as a height. And clamshells are just completely up to you, however big or small or tight or large you want to make them. There we go, those are my little buddies. And I'm going to travel up here, and the next section that you go, every other row is going to basically hit the middle. So this next section, you'll see I went about halfway up in my ditch, or my piecing, and I'm going to come down into this. I can start, actually come up here more. Come down into this and tap the top, move over and tap the top of that one. You're going in the middle of it here. Travel up, and for this one, then at that point, you're going to go and hit the next middle. You're always hitting the middle as you work all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'll start to stitch that.
Get out of the way,
You're
sorry.
fine. You're fine. Go to the middle, bounce over, middle, bounce over. We have half of a clamshell there, and that's okay. Middle, middle, and now we're going up to the next row. We're going to come in from the top because we're doing half a clamshell to the middle, to the middle, to the middle, and end with another half a clamshell.
Awesome.
So you can easily create that nice continuous backing. Of course, you can make those as tight, as small, as wide, as narrow. There we go. There we go. I'm just coming up with all sorts of words.
Or you can echo the inside
You can
of them.
echo inside of them. You can draw little faces. You can do whatever you want all the way through that, if you please, through that whole little section. And I think that's what I got for y'all tonight.
Yeah, that's a good part. We can show more stuff later. But this
Yeah,
is a
so
good
many more
start.
things to use, but learning how to do this is really, really nice. You can also do, actually, I've got one more thing. One more thing.
Okay.
Stay with me. Got one more. You can actually also take a ruler for this, and if you wanted to do maybe like a pumpkin seed or a chain link down this and you wanted to kind of echo them, you could take your ruler and kind of find your halfway point in this, and I was going to say it's right about there. So I can mark halfway down this whole section just with a chalk pencil, just like so. And I'm going to head over this direction. There we go. So if I wanted to, I could kind of create my own little thing coming down here. And then we'll go this way. So it's that same kind of chain link effect or pumpkin seed effect that I've got. And so if I was done, let's say this was the actual top of my part here, then I could start coming this way, and now I've got a nice meet in the middle portion.
Okay, yeah. That's cute.
It's got a nice even spacing there.
Well, it's a continuous stitch for you,
And it's a continuous stitch. So kind of breaking that up and then finding those center points. That book, I'm telling you, this book is chock full of so many different things that you can do. I absolutely love that.
All right, well,
I think it's cool. All right, let's go back over to the front and make our way. All righty. So many cool and different things available in the fancy This Book. Diana's hand is tired from holding the camera. But so many different things, and we barely even scratched the surface on what was available technique-wise in here. We looked at clamshells, which is right down there. Where'd you put the comments at? Where'd you leave the people? You left the people back there.
I gotta go find the people.
So you've got clamshells back there. We talked about this little heart border sashing at the beginning. There's those little pumpkin seed mix-ups here with the halfway chain thing. So many different ideas that are available to you in this book and all of the books that Linda's written.
Yeah.
So many cool things. What you got?
So we have those, and then of course there's lots of good stuff in Pam Clark's books too.
Yes, the Designs with Line
Design
series
with
that we've
Line
been doing.
series.
Yeah.
So we have all those, or most of those available in PDF also.
Most of them. I'm working on it.
Yeah. We're keeping them busy.
It's a process.
We're keeping them busy. So not many questions other than they just love the fact that there's downloadable books now, especially for people in Australia and stuff.
That's awesome.
So awesome. Cool.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this evening and taking a look at what you can do with the Fancy This book. Again, we only scratched the surface on what you can do. This book is available in a hard copy along with a PDF download on our website, www.longarmsupplies.net.
Or just search Linda's Electric Quilters and you'll find us.
There you go. Hit it up on Google. Alrighty. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this evening, and we will see you tomorrow morning for Good Morning LEQ.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.